James Arness is Marshal Matt Dillon.
They were looking for me. They're going to be back.
On Gunsmoke.
That's right.
Weekdays at 1 on MeTV.
Hi, I'm John Malos, and welcome to Connect with Me here on MeTV Fresno, Comcast 187 and 43.6. Today, it's Ask the Expert Day. Harold Cardwell will be here from Allstate Insurance to answer your questions. Call in 265-4331, area code 559-265-4331. Back in a moment.
Tonight I want to discuss the importance of the television medium to the American people.
And welcome back. Harold Cardwell is going to be our guest today. He is the expert, the insurance expert. He works for Allstate Insurance, and it is Ask the Expert Day, so we're going to ask you to call in at 265-4331. Quickly, though, we want to get to last night, Chachansey Park, and that's where father and son were working as a duo in the broadcast booth. It's Hank Greenwald on the left, Doug Greenwald on the right. Hank was a broadcaster for the San Francisco Giants for many years and the New York Yankees. Doug is a young 37-year-old, the voice of the Fresno Grizzlies. Together, they've done more than 10,000 games. Of course, Hank is now retired, but what an honor to work with your father, like son. Doug has also done some major league games. By the way, Las Vegas won the game over the Grizzlies last night, 4-3. We also want to give away some Yanni tickets. Yanni is performing tonight at Soroyan Theater, so like us on Facebook and also press the secret password. There's our Facebook page right there. You can see the password on your screen. Now to our guest. He is Harold Cardwell, an Allstate agent, has been for the better part of 30 years, or his 30-year anniversary is coming up in January. There's Harold in his office there near Shaw and West. And he's been there since 1996, but started way back when inside of a Sears store. We'll ask him about that. We'll also talk to him about the insurance industry, how it's changed, if it's changed, what kind of coverage you should have, what are the rates, what's an umbrella coverage, why you should have liability and why that's important, and we'll talk about the diversity of coverage, why that is so important. If you own a house, if you own a boat, if you own a car, or maybe a rental home, or whatever it is that you might own, Harold can certainly answer all of your questions. So we're going to be back with our expert, Harold Cardwell of Allstate Insurance. 265-4331 is the number. Back with more here on Connect with Me on MeTV Fresno.
Taking care of laundry taking too much of your time? Have you become a missing mom? With a new fast, efficient washer and dryer from Ventura TV Video Appliance, you'll spend more of your day the way you want.
This Amana Super Capacity Washer Dryer Pair is now just $6.99, and this heavy-duty Maytag Super Capacity Washer Dryer Pair is only $8.99.
Don't spend your life on laundry. Upgrade today at Ventura TV Video Appliance and save.
And welcome back to Connect with Me. I'm John Malos, and here is Harold Cardwell with Allstate Insurance. Harold, good to see you. Welcome to the show.
Good to see you, John.
All right. We want to encourage people to call in at 265-4331. That is the number to ask Harold a question about insurance. He's been selling insurance for the better part of 36 years. And Harold, what's the biggest thing in insurance in this day and age? Is it diversity? What is it? Are people confused about what to buy?
Yeah, what I find out in most cases, people come to my office and they really don't understand what insurance really is, John. They aren't in the business of it, so I guess they're not expected to understand it. And it's our job as an agent to be able to sit down and go through the coverages one-on-one with them, explain to them what they really cover and how they would impact their life if they had the wrong coverages. So that's what we do at Allstate.
So how do you determine what the right coverage is for a certain individual when they come into your office?
Let me give you some examples here. What we'll do is we'll talk to people. We'll start asking them questions about their vehicles, what they have. We'll ask them their lifestyle. Do they own a home? We'll ask them, are they a professional? What kind of profession are they in? What do they do for a job? And then we can kind of go around and find out what coverages really meet their needs. We find some people that carry minimum liability, but yet they come in our office and say, I have full coverage. And full coverage really could mean
What does that mean? Full coverage
Yeah.
of what?
Yeah, full coverage. When you're looking at insurance, there's kind of like two groups of coverages. You have the liability section, which includes your bodily injury liability, the uninsured motorist, medical, and then you've got the physical damage portion, which is your collision deductibles, the waiver, and the comprehensive. And then you could get into other coverages, towing, rental, and death indemnity, and so on and so forth. So full coverage could mean you have the liability, which actually gives you what the state requires, and you have collision and comp and nothing else.
Okay.
So it's our job to explain to them, here's what you have, and here's what really happens if you have an accident.
Yeah.
So I'll give you an
Do you
example.
find that? Do you find though that when people come in, they're confused?
They are confused.
Most people, or some people,
Probably most people. Most
about
people.
what they already have or what they should get.
What they should get. Yeah, I'll give you an example of this one. I looked just the other day. She called me and we made an appointment for her to come in actually tomorrow. She went online
Right.
and she had some coverages like 25, 100, and 10.
Mm-hmm.
And what that really means, the first number says if you're in this terrible accident where there's bodily injury and someone is carted off to a hospital, $25,000 is all we're paying for all of those bills. So you and I had this terrible wreck. It's my fault. You go to the hospital, you rack up a week's worth of terrible, terrible bills because you've had surgery. You get out and you say, Harold, it was your fault. You owe me.
Right.
My policy, if I used her numbers, would cover $25,000 of your medical bills. And how fast do medical bills actually accrue in a hospital?
Yeah. I mean, that 25,000 can go in like 5 minutes.
You got that. That's a Band-Aid, right?
That's a Band-Aid.
The other number, the 100, is for all the occupants of a vehicle. So if you had 2 or 3 or 4 people in your vehicle and they all had 25,000 or 30, you could eat up that 100,000 very quick.
Okay, the number here is 265-4331 if you want to call and ask Harold a question. He works for Allstate Insurance. He has for the better part of how many years now?
It's coming up on 32 years.
32 years, and you're at near Shaw and West.
Shaw and West.
Okay, and you've been at that location for how long?
I think we got in that office around 1996. It's the Pyramid Building.
Okay, and you first started where, in the Sears building?
Yeah.
Many years ago?
Yeah, Allstate was owned by Sears, as most people know. And 1981, I walked into a Sears store, and that was my first day on the job after being hired with Allstate and going through training. And there was a booth that you would sit in, and it was a perfect setting because you've got many, many customers that love the Sears products, love the Sears guarantee, and they were a captive audience. They would wander up and say, hey,
Yeah.
give me a quote.
Okay, 265-4331 is the number. Let me ask you, most people that come in, you know, the average family, let's say, they own a home and they own a car. What should their coverage be? And what should they be covered for? And what about liability? And what about umbrella type coverages? What does all that mean?
Yeah. I would tell you that if you own a home, you have to be protected.
From what?
From, you don't want to say attorneys because attorneys are supposed to be good to you, but when it comes to a bad accident, we all know that attorneys look for money. They're looking for settlements for their client. So you have to be protected. I'll give you, for instance, if you own a rental home, you've got an auto, you've got another auto, maybe you've got a motorcycle in the garage, and you've got your own home. You got to be protected because most people think you're very, very wealthy. That's the perception.
Okay, protected from a lawsuit, and what kind of coverage should you get?
In my best experience, if you carry $250,000, $500,000, and $100,000 on property damage, you can sleep well at night. That's the minimum I would leave.
Break that down. What does that mean?
Okay, so 250 means you would be covered if you ran into me and you caused me to go to the hospital. If you had 250,000 in coverage, you would have great coverage. So if I broke a leg, had a huge bad injury that would
Okay.
disable me for life, you would have $250,000 to pay my hospital bills.
Okay.
That pays for not only the bills, but loss of wages, loss of service, and pain and suffering.
Okay.
The $500,000 is if it was my wife and myself, my children, if there was a multiple people in the vehicle. And the $100,000 is property damage. John, I see a lot of people come in my office with $10,000 of property damage. How many cars are on our highways worth more than $10,000?
Right.
It's crazy.
Interesting.
The difference in the very minimum liability versus the maximum liability might be $20 to $30 per car per 6 months.
Right.
There is not a huge difference in premium, but you get great coverage.
Okay, Harold Cardwell is our guest here on Connect with Me on MeTV Fresno, and the number is 265-4331. It's Ask the Expert Day on Connect with Me. We're going to be back in just a moment. Stay tuned.
Is taking care of laundry taking too much of your time? Have you become a missing mom? With a new fast, efficient washer and dryer from Ventura TV Video Appliance, you'll spend more of your day the way you want.
This Amana Super Capacity Washer Dryer Pair is now just $6.99, and this heavy duty Maytag Super Capacity Washer Dryer Pair is only $8.99.
Don't spend your life on laundry. Upgrade today at Ventura TV Video Appliance and save.
And we're back here with Connect with Me with Harold Cardwell. It's Ask the Expert Day. He is an Allstate Insurance. 265-4331 is the number. And we want to give you some information that is interesting, something you people have been asking about. Do we pay the guests or do they pay us? No. Let's put this up on the screen so you can quickly read it. We ask the experts to come in, a guy like Harold or someone else. We even have business owners that come in. We don't pay them. They don't pay us. Harold, you're just here to answer some questions about insurance, and that's why you're here. And our number is 265-4331. And about the insurance industry, talk about what people should be aware of and be cautious of when they walk into any insurance office, whether it's Allstate, whether it's State Farm, whether it's a lesser known company. Of course, those two companies have the name recognition.
Sure.
Buyer beware of what?
I think I would be, my first concern is when you walk into an office, if you're going to deal with an agent that pretty much says, okay, well, here's your package and sign here. You walk out and you said, I have full coverage, you're fully covered, no problem. And he doesn't explain coverages to you. In our office,
Is that a red flag?
oh my gosh, most people that come in say, I want full coverage. Well, that could be anything. That could be the 1535, which is the state minimum, or it could be the maximum of, $500, $1 million of umbrella coverage on top of all that.
Hey, we got a phone call, Harold.
Sure.
Good morning. You're on with Harold Cardwell here on Connect with Me. Your question?
Yes, I'd like to address the high-speed rail.
Okay. What's
And-
your question regarding insurance with Harold? Quickly.
Well, the insurance, if the Fresno County needs to take out an insurance policy against the possibility of the workers catching the valley fever from out of state. These are people from out of state that the people from Fresno or the Central Valley are immune to this type of virus, disease, that has almost killed my nephew. It got into his spine, into his brain, and he's in terrible shape. But
I'm not sure I understand the question. What's your question for Harold, though?
would Fresno City have to buy an insurance type so they don't get sued?
What I would say to that, John, is most people carry their own health insurance,
Okay.
and if anything happens that you're in a hospital, that's what your health insurance is covered for.
I see.
Yeah, I mean, you're selling insurance. You're not selling health insurance, basically. Harold sells insurance to cover your car, your house, your home, your rental property, a boat.
Life insurance, and
life
we do
insurance.
sell Anthem Blue Cross. In fact, we do sell health
Right,
insurance.
but not health insurance.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah, so I appreciate your phone call, but
Sure.
you know, that is kind of almost an interesting question, because you know, what about the liability for Fresno for that? But I don't know. I don't have the answer to that, and maybe you don't either, because that's a little out of your realm. But
I don't think that they're in charge of the mosquitoes going around. So
no, but you were talking earlier about buyer beware. Read the fine print, read the contract, in what your coverages are.
well, I think the agent is the big guy in the picture. The agent should be, and I mean, when we go through a policy, we explain everything. Once we print it out, we will go to the application line by line so our people understand. And I'll reiterate, I want to make sure you understand you have 100,000, 300,000, and 100,000 property damage. And one big misconception is the uninsured motorist. Uninsured motorist says, oh yeah, I was hit by an uninsured, so they fixed my car. Well, uninsured motorist coverage doesn't fix cars, it's actually liability. What
Okay.
uninsured motorist does is this: it says, we're going through an intersection and someone blows the stop sign, hits us, and we go to the hospital, rack up a lot of medical bills. You've wrecked my car, and when we get out, we knock on a door and say, hey, you ran this light, you need to pay these bills. And that's when we find out there's no insurance in place.
Let me ask you about coverage for like let's say a rental home or a winter home or a cabin or a boat. Is it different coverage than, say, your own house or car?
Oh, sure.
In what regard?
Let me finish this uninsured before we get into
Okay,
that, because what happens in this uninsured situation is, if there's no insurance there, you go to your own policy and you can pick up that liability to cover those bills that were accrued in the hospital and your
Okay.
car. So it's
So
very
you're covered.
important.
Okay.
You're very important to have the good liability.
Right.
Then, as far as your car is concerned, there is collision coverage on your car. You have a deductible. If it's an uninsured accident, we'll waive the deductible. If it isn't, then your property damage obviously takes care of it.
Okay. Covering a boat and a rental home or a
Okay.
house or whatever, explain the difference between that coverage for those properties as opposed to your house and your car.
Okay, so your house and your car have coverage all by themselves. You've got auto insurance, which covers your four-wheel private passenger autos. You also have your home coverage, which is going to cover your dwelling. You're going to have contents coverage. You're going to have liability protection there. If you have a rental policy, you have to have that covered for the renter to live there.
Okay, quick phone call. Go ahead. You're on Connect with Me. What's your quick question?
Hi, we just had a pool put in. Is there any additional coverage I need to purchase?
That's a great question. In a lot of cases, you better check your policy and check your agent to make sure that you have the appropriate amount of liability. A lot of homeowners, you'll find out you have $100,000 of liability. I would recommend $300,000 or $500,000. And me personally, I will have to tell you this: I have a rental house with a pool. I carry $1 million umbrella as well. Umbrella is excess liability.
The $1 million umbrella policy, will that cover just the pool if someone went into my backyard?
No, actually, umbrella coverage is excess liability. It covers all of your portfolio. As far as your personal items, that means your automobile, if you had a bad accident and you carried the minimum, or you carried the minimum required liability, which is $250,000, $500,000 with our company, and you had a bad accident, the umbrella would kick into $1 million on top of what you carry. The home, you would have $300,000 underlying coverage, and the $1 million would kick in for that. And if you also have a rental property or a boat or any other thing of that sort, you would have the $1 million kick in. It's excess liability. It makes you sleep very well at night, and it's not that expensive.
All right. Thank you for the call. I appreciate it very much.
Thank you
And
so
we're going to
much.
continue with our conversation with Harold Cardwell here on Connect with Me. In fact, we're going to be back in a moment with the Connect with Me Daily Deal with Rafi in just a moment. Stay tuned. You're watching Connect with Me.
Tura TV Appliance Center. We're the go big, thin as in, flats where it's at place. The HD 3D web-enabled electronics and TV place. You following me?
LG's 50-inch flat panel TV is great for sports, and the 600 hertz subfield driving virtually eliminates motion blur. Get it now for just $5.99.
At the big screen surround sound, no more $12 popcorn place. Since 1951, Ventura TV Appliance Center. We're working hard to be your place.
Howdy, I'm John Wallace, and I'm here to tell you all about me. MeTV, that is. When nothing else matters but boots and chaps and cowboy hats, MeTV is where you ought to be. From the Cartwrights on the Ponderosa to Marshall Dillon keeping peace in Dodge, MeTV is your station for Western hits like Bonanza and Gunsmoke, the Big Valley, Branded, Rawhide, the Wild Wild West, and more. So dust off your boots and saddle up and visit MeTVFresno.com to learn how to get MeTV for free.
Is taking care of laundry taking too much of your time? Have you become a missing mom? With a new fast, efficient washer and dryer from Ventura TV Video Appliance, you'll spend more of your day the way you want. Save now on Frigidaire's Advanced Affinity Laundry Pair. Let Frigidaire save you energy, water, and time. Don't spend your life on laundry. Upgrade today at Ventura TV Video Appliance and save.
Hi, I'm Rafi here on the showroom floor at Ventura TV, and our daily deal for today is this ice maker, freestanding ice maker by Whirlpool. I call it freestanding because it can go anywhere in the house. It can go in a garage, in the house, in the kitchen. It can go on the patio. You can even put it in a built-in situation under the counter. It's only 15 inches wide and counter depth. So you can use it anywhere in the house. How much ice does this make? This produces 50 pounds of ice per day, and it's just not regular ice. It's clear, clean, mineral-free ice, the same ice that you buy at the stores. 50 pounds, that's a lot of ice. Now, you can, if you are a person that does a lot of recreational activity, you can use this ice maker. You can load your ice in the bins, in the ice chest, go to the lake with your family, go to a day trip to the coast, go fishing, hunting, whatever. You can use this ice. You never have to buy ice. This produces enough ice for the entire large family. If you have a large family, you never have to buy ice, and it's a clear ice. Now, you may ask me, Rafi, okay, what's the price on this unit? Well, this sells for $1,599. Now, we have it on our floor on a daily basis for $9.99. The competition, nobody's even close to $9.99. Sears has it as of this morning for $1,350. Orchard has it for $1,519. But today, for our Connect With Me viewers on MeTV, we will offer this for $7.99. $7.99, and that's the deal of the day.
All right, Rafi, good job. So that produces a lot of ice for the entire family, maybe even your neighbors, right, Rafi?
Yes, definitely. Hey, John, you know what? I mean, we have a lot of activities. We have July 4th parties, people come to our house. We have barbecues on Memorial weekends, Christmas, Thanksgiving get-togethers. You never have to buy ice. This is clear ice, tasteless, odorless, and mineral-free.
All right, great job, Rafi. You not only save money by not buying ice, but you save money coming here to Ventura TV and buying that product. Thank you much. Back with more of our conversation with Harold Cardwell of Allstate Insurance. 265-4331 is the number.
The Appliance Center. We're the save energy, save time, save money place. The Energy Star qualified, ready, steam-equipped, high-efficiency Frigidaire Affinity place. You heard right. Right now, save big on select Frigidaire laundry pairs and pay no interest when paid in full within 6 months. At the hometown low price, think outside the big box place. Since 1951, Ventura TV Appliance Center. We're working hard to be your place.
From now on, when I sneeze, I'll try to sneeze more friendly.
Welcome back. 265-4331 is the number. We have about 4 minutes left in the show, so if you want to get in on the phone call situation, you better hurry because we're almost out of time. Harold Cardwell is here. You mentioned the umbrella coverage. What is that exactly? Is that just extra coverage for something that you already are covered for?
It's excess liability.
Okay.
So you have to have underlying liability in order to have the umbrella.
Meaning what?
So your autos have liability insurance, the
Okay.
250, 500,000. Your homes have 100, 300,000. So
Okay.
you've got 300,000 is the minimum coverage you have to carry on homes. Your rental properties or your boats, they have an underlying coverage. So as long as you have that minimum underlying coverage, you can purchase an umbrella policy. They range from $250 a year to $400 a year.
Okay, and that's a good idea to have in case
Great.
somebody sues you.
Great coverage.
Yeah. All right, another phone call. Harold, good morning. You're on with Harold Cardwell. Your question?
For instance, commercial property, does that have anything to do with commercial property? And I'm a sign maker, and I install sign. I usually have to have a $1 million liability insurance for the landlord of the shopping centers. Do you handle any of that type of situation?
Correct. Yeah, we do commercial insurance in our agency. Most commercial exposures, the underlying minimum is $1 million, and most people that you're doing work for require that. You can buy an umbrella policy that would go on top of that excess liability. It's a commercial umbrella instead of a personal line, so it's the same venue, the same underlying coverage must be $1 million, and then if you've got 5 or 10 million or whatever you need, sure.
Right. So yeah, I was the caller that called about the high-speed rail. Now that would be a nice insurance policy for some agent to get a hold of.
They'll probably self-insure to a huge amount.
And the valley fever it's not a mosquito; it's a dust. It's a refined particle dust from the mold from so many million years ago or something.
Great.
But,
correct.
The other thing was, I need a microwave. Do they have good microwave on sale today or no?
Well, you'll have to come in or call the store and ask them about that. But I appreciate your phone call. Thank you for calling in and continue watching. Harold, let me ask you something. Prop 103 back in 1988, a lot of people don't know about it. I didn't know about it. How did that change the insurance industry for good?
Prop 103 was huge. 1988, a lot of things changed in the insurance industry. Insurance companies at that time were really looking for no-fault insurance because they know they work in so many places in other parts of the country. Prop 103 was actually passed because they said it was going to save people lots of money, and unfortunately it really doesn't do a whole lot of that, because you still have the event of lawsuits, and when that's in the background, rates have to go up. So unfortunately.
All right. Quickly, your phone number, how do they get in touch with you?
If you want to call our office, it's 559-229-5700.
Come back again?
Thanks so much. Appreciate it, John.
All right. I hope you come back again.
Hey, we'll
Will
do
you?
it.
All right.
We'll do it.
Harold Cardwell of Allstate Insurance. A quick note, Yanni's going to appear tonight at the Soroyan Theater. Got 10 tickets. That's 5 pairs. So if you like us on Facebook and then press the secret password, we'll give the tickets away to you. Tomorrow is Spotlight on Entertainment. Back then, I hope you have a great day and a great evening.
Tonight I want to discuss the importance of the television medium to the American people.
Sunday night,
Let's move.
a perfect night for crime. A perfect night for me.
You've got to help me.
MeTV, that is. With detectives,
My name is Gunn.
fugitives,
I didn't kill her.
guns, surly,
This is the Twilight Zone.
and much, much more.
You'll go along with that, won't you?
Sunday Night Noir, starting at 10, 9 Central on MeTV.